Did you ever have any conversations with Canibus over what was the real beef with M though?
It's the story I think that's pretty much out there in the public. Like there was a video shoot and Wyclef had told him that he was going to meet Eminem, and first Canibus was like, all right, cool. Like just cool. Then Wyclef like throws in at the last minute, yeah, this is the guy who wrote LL's fucking verse on 4-3-2-1, and Canibus went into fucking infuriated Jamaican mode. And rather than just ask Eminem about it, like let in with the like, you did this and fuck you. And it was like, I don't know if Eminem wrote that shit or not. Like, but whatever.
I remember seeing M talk about it, and he said that they asked him twice and he said no both times, but it was like they were still not believing that he didn't write it. But like for you working with Canibus though, right? Why would Canibus hold on to it all the time? Was it because of the diss tracks had already gone back and forth and he still wanted to keep pressing the issue?
Why does Canibus keep dissing Eminem?
Yeah.
Canibus, you can't tell Canibus anything, dude. Like, it's fucking Canibus, man. Like, I don't know how else to explain that. Like, I called, are we recording right now? I called Canibus the morning before I was going to meet Eminem in the studio and work with him in Crook and the whole nine to tell him that I'm just, as a courtesy to you, I'm telling you that I'm about to go do this. And he's like, I appreciate that. Like, because that'd be crazy if I had to hear about it from the fucking internet, right? But then when I posted the photo, he never let go of that, bro. Never, ever let go of it. Like, and it was for like, he'd complain about different reasons. Like one, it'd be like, all my people are calling, like, isn't that your fucking manager or your A&R? Like, what's he doing with the enemy? And it's like, Canibus couldn't just explain to them, like, I work with Crooked I, because I started working with Crooked I 2 years after I worked with Canibus. I started working with Canibus in 07, I started working with Crook in 09. And I put Crooked I on the Undergods album, which is Canibus Keith Murray. That was our first work. But then it got to the point where it's like, you don't think I would like to be in that photo? Like that I'd like to like sit down with Marshall and bury the hatchet, but instead it's you. So there was that part. He's like, I'd like my kids. He told me this. He's like, I'd like my kids one day to feel like their father wasn't a fucking waste. Like that I didn't make all the wrong decisions. And I respected him saying that shit. Like, cause that's real. That's him being vulnerable and telling me what it is. But to all his fans, he has to fucking, all fucking 200 of them. I got to put on this persona that like, no, like if you love me, you can't love Eminem. Like, motherfucker, if you love hip hop, you're going to love both these motherfuckers.
Right. 100%.
It's like, I mean, I don't think it's as great as say a Biggie and Tupac, but like, look what we got going on right now with Benny and Freddie Gibbs. Like, you should be able to love both these artists. But if you're a fucking loyalist, you're going to pick one or the other because of their internal friction.
Yeah, but and I appreciate what you're saying with Canibus being vulnerable and telling you that though. But like, that's not like your responsibility to, you didn't have a relationship with M at the time to be like, yo, I'm going to broker this peace treaty and stuff like that. Like you're trying to make something happen or, work in relationship with the guy. Like you're going to fuck up your situation to be like, yo, I'm really here because I want to fix things between you and Canibus, who you haven't spoken about since what, Canibus, that song from Encore or whatever, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? From 2004. So it's like, that's insane, That's crazy, man.
Yep. No, and like, dude, while I'm on tour with Crooked I, that's when, we met Dave Chappelle the night before, then we meet Eminem a couple days later. I'm promoting Canibus's album, The Fiat Accompli, and we're promoting Good vs. Evil for Crooked I. In the tour van, I got 500 fucking Canibus posters. So it's like I'm literally promoting Canibus the whole fucking time I'm on the road with Crooked I, and I do that for all my artists. Like, I got all these fucking albums coming out all year round. Like, if I can get from state to state and help further the marketing of one project or multiple projects, I'm doing that. So I remember Crooked I told me, and by the way, the last time we did the interview, and like South Power picked this up, and they're like, I feel like this M80 guy's just fucking talking shit. Like, Why would Crooked Eye tell him not to talk about cannabis or not speak when spoken to or not X, Y, and Z? It's because you don't want to put a motherfucker in a mood, dude. Like, I'm a guest in the house of Eminem. I'm not going to speak just to hear my own fucking voice. Like, if he wants to talk to me, I'll talk. And thankfully, we had a great conversation, you know? I'm also not going to interrupt Crooked Eye's workflow and be like, hey, by the way, I worked on the new Canibus album, and Eminem, would you like a poster? Like, there's just like, you know, simple dumb shit not to do. So respect it. Like,
yeah, and you know, in Southpaw, they've covered a lot of interviews that I've done too. So shout out to them for that. But to your point though, you're not there for you. It's not about you in that moment.
yeah.
So
I'm a guest of the guest.
Right.
I'm lucky to be in the fucking room, and I'm more lucky to have weighed in on some of the work to get fucking plaques for it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But they could have done the work without me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, to what you were saying about Canibus, right? Like again, I appreciate what he was saying. He was vulnerable when he was saying, you know, I don't want my kids to think that everything I did or whatever, right? But you tried really hard in so many different instances to make that happen for him, though, that he wouldn't be viewed as necessarily a failure. You tried to help him reach his potential as an artist in so many different ways. So it's just kind of crazy to hear, you know, him say that. So I don't know, man.
Dude, listen, for the people at home that might not understand, like a lot of times we put out these albums and the fans will be like, damn, it's a brand new Canibus album. I don't understand why it doesn't get more press. And I've spoken on this before. Canibus would be like, I don't want to do any of it. Fuck them. Fuck the Source. Fuck XXL. Fuck all hip hop. Fuck whatever. Then when we worked together from 2021, this is like the second term. The first term was 07 to 2015. The second term was 2021 to 2024. That during the second term, I got him to do more of the press, like Bootleg Kev, all hip hop, Shade 45. You know, they were playing Canibus songs from the Horsemen on Shade 45. So we were really cutting through. Like, these are the things you have to do, whether you want to do them or not. You have to play the fucking game. Okay, you can't just be like. You would think that if you're on social media and you have like 30,000 followers or 100,000 or a million or whatever, you could be like, my new album comes out tomorrow. And then all the people would be in the know because they're following you. There's people, you could be like, hey, the new Wu-Tang Clan album came out. And they're like, oh, get out of here. I didn't know they had a whole album or a new album, but they follow Wu-Tang on Instagram. Like, how could you not know? But see, it's like, we don't, you know, social media shit is like, we see it, but we don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't acknowledge it, but we're scrolling. We're in just like fucking like, our brains are shut off when we're doing social media shit, and we're just getting visually stimulated. Canibus did not want to try to be as big as he once was, or potentially bigger. And I thought that I could have made him bigger than what he was. We booked over 200 live shows during my first tenure. We did great press, all the right features, all that shit. If Canibus just would have, you know, not been so in his own head, and, you know, that's what it is. He's his own worst enemy. Then I think things could have been different. And I think, you know, maybe that would have changed. But with him just rapping the rap, and even though, like I told you, know, when he went and got his job as the HVAC technician, quit your job. I will guarantee your salary and make you more every year. I will pay you to stay home and rap. And the first year we did that, he made literally it came out to 2.8. He made his salary times 2.8. So essentially 3 years worth in 1 year. But no, he just didn't love the rap life. Like, he didn't love the politics of it. He don't love the fan interaction, which 97% of his fans are guys. And it's like, you know, he had no real like love life going on. He was like distant from his family. There's a lot of shit. But if you're more happy just working a normal job and just being low key, then who am I to fucking tell you to do otherwise? I just took issue with the fact he was taking money from people and not delivering. Like, if you don't want to rap, then don't rap. But please don't pretend that you want to rap, take money from people, and then when they don't get their material, be like, tough luck. Like, come find me on my fucking boat.
So I did an interview with your man Lush One about the Canibus versus Dizaster battle. What was your reaction when you saw what he said about that?
What did he say?
You didn't watch it?
Dude, I told you I don't watch podcasts unless
Oh, okay,
about
all
me.
right. I thought you, because he did mention you though, so I thought that you saw it.
Yeah, I've honest to God, I've never in my life watched a full episode of Drink Champs or Jada and Joe or any of these shits. Never, not once.
All right, that's cool. I'll skip on to the next thing. So I did an interview.
Well, what are you saying?
Man, roll the clip.
What I believe we agreed to is 10,000 upfront, and then a portion, like a back end split. You feel me? Now, apparently, $10,000 is just part of the deposit, and then within a certain amount of time, they're expecting allocations and bands here, 5Gs here, leading up to like 40 something, 50 bands at the event, right? Now, I'm like, so organic is tripping. He's like, what the fuck? Like Lush, what is this situation you got us in? What is this fucking contract? Let me see this. We wind up seeing the contract again. And then Christian's like, talk to M80. Call M80. It's with him. I'm like, oh, M80? Oh, I know him. We cool from back in the day. Let me give this guy a call. You feel me? Like, so I call M80. He answers the phone. This is Matt. You feel me? Straight lawyer voice. You feel me? Like, yeah, this is Matt. You feel me? I'm like, M80, what's up, bro? It's Lush, bro. I don't know if you remember me. I'm ready to give my little preamble, trying to convince him, hey, we're not going to have this money. We're willing to work something out. We weren't aware of the contract that we signed. Christian's an idiot. I had this whole speech in my head, right? I don't even get half a sentence. Something. I'm like, you may not remember me. He says, yeah, I remember you. You owe me $600 for a Killah Priest feature from fucking 2008. I'm like, awestruck, dumbfounded. I'm like, so taken aback, like, whoa. Like, not only now am I not able to finesse him, but I'm on the defense. You feel me? Like, he already has changed the dynamic. So not only am I not able to even ask him for a favor or ingratiate myself or try to use what rapport I think we have in my head based on knowing this guy, but he got me by the balls for a Killah Priest feature from 2008.
Which is complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. It's clear as day. You're going to give us 10 grand a sign and then 10 grand a month until the battle. And then the battle was supposed to be like 5 months later. So essentially, you're supposed to get half upon signing. Like when I book Wiz Khalifa to perform, I have to give half. Like that's the shit, So since they didn't have it, we were allowing them to pay monthly. So no, they knew what it was. They were just, he was fucking young and dumb and on drugs.
Well, he said that he wasn't aware that the installments, right, that were supposed to be paid until the battle happened. And then when he tried to call you to finesse the situation to say, hey, can we talk about this? Can we figure out something else? You were like, hey, you owe me $600 for a verse from 2009 or something like that. And it like shocked him that you remembered it.
It was 1,300. 1,300 was the verse. But no, dude, trust me. I remember more of the bad business than I do the good business. If you do good business by me, I don't have to remember it because, you can always call me to do more business. But I wasn't about to do Lush One a favor when he couldn't even make good on a few $100, dude. That was something that benefited him. But they knew what it was. They were being stupid about it. They literally called one time and said they sent the second installment, and they're like, it'll hit your account tomorrow. And they were just lying their ass off. They gave us all the runarounds. And then, of course, King of the Dot said they had nothing to do with it when literally their name's in the contract and the promo video for the battles on the King of the Dot page. It was all just a bunch of fucking bad business.
Well, shout out to Lush, man. But he said, that's my guy.
Shout out to Lush. Yeah. I like Lush One in the present day because he's grown up now. And he realizes in becoming an adult, you have to be about your fucking business. So he was not, he's not at my level now, but he definitely wasn't at my level fucking then. So it's like, don't fault me for being about my business and on top of shit. I don't do this. He goes to No Jumper every day or whatever it is. That's your job. I run a fucking multi-million-dollar company and I'm responsible for the financial intakes of hundreds of people. So yeah, your bad business day, I'm not I'm not letting that take away from, making sure that my other, say, 10 artists that week are good, whatever it's supposed to be. So that's what it is. I wish him the best. And I know he's good friends with Andy, who's our mixing and mastering engineer. And that's probably a good proponent for making sure him and I are good friends and better friends and stuff like that. But like, I definitely didn't respect the bullshit at the time, and I won't stand for it now.
Right. Yeah, but
We're like, grow the fuck up.
When you got brought up though, he said, he was like, man, M80, like he spoke very positively about you. He said that guy's really on his business tip, man. And I salute him basically. So
Thank you.
He was just saying that it took him back by surprise that he knew he couldn't finesse the situation after you brought up that he owed money still.
And that's what I heard the other day when I was hanging out with Benny. There are still people in his camp that were upset. Like, they knew my intentions were righteous. They knew I was only there to help, but they couldn't finesse me. And so some people felt a way about not being able to get over on me. Like, I didn't get beaten for any money. I was okay with getting back just what I put into it. And it's like, why would you be mad that I still want to come around? Like, all you people can benefit from me. Just like when I teach my A&R clinics on Tuesday. I don't do that shit for me. I do that to give game to the world, to those that want to seek knowledge and actually better their footing in the game. Whether you're an artist, a producer, an entrepreneur, a future label head, whatever it's going to be. I do that shit for y'all. Like, so it really hurts to find out that there's people I really helped find their footing in amongst Benny's like organization that don't look at me with righteous intent, that don't look at me like a good guy or a valued asset. Like, I serve no harm to you and you serve no harm to me, bro. Like, cheers.
Shout out to Lush, man.